You boy, nigga, 400 years is long enough. You've been sitting down and laying down and bowing down for 400 years. I think it's time to stand up. I think it's time to stand up.
I'm on the block 6'1", about 205. A king's ransom is asked to command my task. On my back is a gash from the slaver's lash. My eyes dance nervously as they clear my path. My feet gnaw and cut make it hard to proceed. But the whip on my back make me move with more speed. The smell of the oceans keeping me hoping that the Lord will redeem me. Oh, why'd you leave me? Destitute, heartbroken, shamed. I see my little brother die with a whack from a cane. So much pain and blood-stained pit of the ship. I was chained to a dead man. They used me for a bedpan. They grabbed my neck and the hot I am burned. Check my ass for worms and abominable germs. Then I gas or breath hard, flustered and weak. Pig grease my physique as they check my teeth. Now I hear the jingle of coins, my worst fear. I'm sold for some rum and beer. The crowd cheers. Meet my master, a sadistic, effeminate. Made me run 19 miles to his tenement. For 10 years I broke my back. No respect, no love. Then one day snapped. But they had a plan for that. They put my head in a burlap sack, my hand strapped. I was thrown in the back of the car, my heart's bound. The faggot ass man's just touching, feeling me now. He's rubbing on my chest, lust fills his breath. Gave me the kiss of death, and there's no time left. I feel the thick hemp rope that I made with my own hands. Noosed around my neck is irony for a man named Joe Walker, whose spirit was free. On October 11th, I swung from a tree. Slave ships docked and up come the blocks. Unload the stock with chains and locks. Whips crack, bodies bloodied and broke. We take it back, can't forget. And my people react. Chain react, cause all my black people forget. Destroyed by the knowledge they lack. 400 years is what happened to black Jew, Israelite, diaspora.
Stuck on the run, they already got one of my sons. Sold him for a bottle of brandy and a gun. Fatigue from the hot rays of the sun, but there's no quitting. Blisters on my feet, arms, legs, and skill bitten. Left my wife, another son of what I hope is a safe place. Out for blood and revenge, that's the same face. As long as I'm alive, it's death to the uncircumcised. They enslaved and sold my fam, the sons of Ham and Ishmael. For more detail, I already killed 2 of their males. They raided the temple, defamed the Holy Grail. I can't fail, I'm destined to prevail. Just ahead I see an Ishmaelite riding his Clydesdale. He stops taking a sip from his canteen. I duck down, cheetah moving so we can't see. The sun beams on my machete. So the blade gleams while he daydreams. Unseen, I chop the leg of the unclean. Now the hunter does the hunting. He falls screaming on his knees, begging please not to kill him. I gag his mouth, hoping nobody hurt him. One swipe to the neck, off goes his turban. His curtains, mind of a dirty surgeon. Cut and don't care, blood on my hands, I run scared. Not prepared for what the future holds. I'm still bold, prideful in fact. Next I hear a snap, got caught slipping. Messed around and set up in a bear trap. Out comes the nets and ropes. Bye to my dreams and hopes. The heathen got me, beat me, dragged me to a boat. Threw salt on my wounds, beat me till I swelled like a balloon. Laugh and spit in my face, forced me at the finest, went in the way to escape.
Slave ships docked and up come the blocks. Unload the stock with chains and locks. Whips crack, bodies bloodied and bruised. We take it back, can't forget. Man, my people react. Chain react, cause all my black people forget. Destroyed by the knowledge they lack. 400 years is what happened to black Jew, Israelite, diaspora.
Master, not tonight, please. Words of my wife as I listen to her scream. As more of this demon sweat and blood drips on her cheek. Blood drips from my lips as my teeth punctures and bleeds. As my soul strickens and plots to redeem. Her womb infested like maggots with the white man's seed. Lord, what kind of species is these? She only makes love to me in her dreams. But even in those, she flashbacks to the face of the beast. Months later, she found in pregnancy, where they cut her open and stomp out the fetus with her feet. Strange fruit no longer swing from trees. They swing from the corner blocks of Martin Luther King. How long will these modern day savages come to be? We the words of that Willie Lynch letter that we helped to complete. Deuteronomy 28:6. This be part of the earth where the grass didn't grow. God concrete jungle. Black display get boxed by the shadow. Illuminati eye is plotting, niggas is clocking. So I send up prayers and return stares back to them streets that's watching.
Slave ships docked in, up come the blocks. Unload the stock with chains and locks. Whips crack, bodies bloody and bruised. We take it back yet again. Make my people react. Chain react. It's all my black people forget. Destroyed by the knowledge they lack. 400 years is what happened to black Jew, Israelite, diaspora.
You've been sitting down and laying down and bowing down for 400 years. I think it's time to stand up. I think it's time to stand up.
And I agree. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. If you've been around, you know what I'm putting down. If you've not, don't get too close because you might get shot. It's your brother IQAhmath. IQAhmath, first name, IQ is all the same. You reach another episode, DSTM. Don't shoot the messenger. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh Shai. Salute to my fellow saints that's in the house, man. All y'all that's tapping in with me right now, all praises. For those who've not yet got your notifications and haven't made the leap of faith to jump on in there and join us this evening, it's okay. It's all right. You will miss out. Or you can catch it tomorrow. If you too tired. I know how I go. 6 days, 5 days of labor, man. By the time that sun goes down, all you want to do, eat, sip something to drink, and lay down and rest your feet and relax. Maybe turn on the boob tube or something. Maybe get into your scriptures. And if you do that, you're going to fall asleep. Either way. So why not join me tonight? How about that? Prayerfully, everybody's doing well tonight, man. Shabbat shalom to everybody. A lot to talk about. You already know. I'm going to be preaching to the choir tonight because, everybody just ran to the microphone and to the cameras when Charlie Kirk, got smoked. And you know me, I like to sit back and wait. I'm gonna let everything go forward, and I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna back clean up. Feel me? So we're definitely gonna talk about that demon. We're definitely gonna talk about civil unrest, possible America being on the brink of civil or racial war. We're gonna talk about world wars that's jumping off. We're going to talk about plagues. We're going to talk about more implementation of the beast system that wants you to be marked. There's a whole lot we need to talk about, as usual. I'm going to try to be as concise as I can with this, but it's so hard to do so when everything is moving at breakneck speed. You've had Israel bombing Qatar all in this week. You had Russia allegedly sending multiple drone strikes into Poland, which is a NATO country. They're talking about that's reason for World War III between NATO and Russia. Here on the homeland, all hell is breaking loose. The so-called white man and his white batch woman are going ballistic on the internet over the Charlie Kirk assassination, which should let you know what side of the fence they stand on, because if they fall in line with his ideologies, you should already know what time it is. So, the water for joining me tonight. If you have not already, wipe your feet. Hit that like button. Share the video. Do what you need to do your part in sharing and spreading the gospel, so that we can get the hell up out of here. Who's trying to go home? I'm convinced a lot of our people, man, they don't want to go home. kind of comfortable in Babylon. Kick your feet up, took your socks off, got used to the whipping in the back. You know, you was a kid when you used to get whooped and it didn't hurt no more. So that just lets you act up a little bit more because you knew like, oh, I can take it. There wasn't a switch big enough. You done been through the electric, the extension cords. You done got the switches from outside. You done been through all of them. Every belt you done ran through, you're used to it. So you're not really tripping no more. A lot of our people is on it like that, even in the Israelite community. I got a story too. Brother in the truth. Working for Northrop Grumman as a F-35 fighter jet trainer, got fired, persecuted for keeping the laws, him being an Israelite. And that's just the beginning, y'all. So what's also ironic, which I've yet to really hear too many brothers in the truth really bring this particular point out, as everything that I'm talking about, in less than 10 days, we're going to be entering into the blowing trumpets. And if you know what that means, the trumpet is used as a form of alarm. The trumpet is used as an instrument of war, to announce war. The trumpet is used to announce an assembling of the people. The trumpet is to announce when it's time to worship the Father in spirit and in truth. So it's ironic that we're having all of these particular things happen as the trumpet is being set to be blown this 7th month, new moon beginning on the 21st of this month. So everything's moving in the spirit accordingly. Getting the end of our end gathering. It's the end of our end gathering harvest. This is the time when everything's supposed to be getting gathered in. So you're supposed to be gathering in your knowledge, your wisdom, your understanding, your fear, your repentance, because what comes up next is atoning. So everything that you've gathered in now, you're getting ready to either utilize it to continue your growth and store it up as it becomes more of your inner being and spirit. And then some things you're going to sift through that you're going to see is stale, old, rotten, that you need to get rid of. And that's when we come up to atoning. See how that works? So let's get right to it. All right. Strap in your seatbelts. You already know what time it is. We're going in. Since we're speaking of trumpets, let's start here. Oops, like it. Be nice if I was sharing my screen, huh? All right. So let's start here. Select. We'll start here. Numbers chapter 10. We'll start at the first verse. All right. And the Most High Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, make thee 2 trumpets of silver, of a whole piece shalt thou make them, that thou mayest use them for the calling of the assembly and for the journeying of the camp. So number 1, this is the time that we're supposed to be doing what? Calling the assembly. This is the time that we're supposed to be exercising Zephaniah 2:1. One thing I can see in the spirit is, let's get that real quick too. I don't care about Charlie Kirk no more, man. The hell with Charlie Kirk. Interesting. Satan been moving on this thing, man, for the past few weeks, but ain't no stopping. No stopping, right? One thing I've noticed too is, although within our community, the Israelite community that is, sometimes we can be at odds, sometimes we don't see eye to eye on some things, and whatever the case may be, and there's debates and there's strife and discord, and that still is existing. But it's become less prevalent now on the internet because why? There's an existential threat against the faith, which is the Christian community, who's been trying to run down and ride on to no avail the men of the Lord. And that has made brothers come together even more. You know, that's one thing. You know, it's like when you have a relative or a brother or a best friend or whatever, and that best friend of your brother, but he might be a low down, dirty piece of, you know, but that's between me and him. Let somebody else say something about that brother. Oh, I got a problem with you too. I got to stand by him because that's my brother at the end of the day. I can talk about him, but you can't. You can't. Right? That's how our community reacts. So although we may not see eye to eye on certain things or whatever, but let there be a threat to the community. Let there be a threat to the faith. If brothers all stand on the same front line and say, hey, you know what? Put down your petty squabbling with me or whoever else. We got somebody else to deal with. We can get back to our thing later if we need to. But if not, hey, let's take this thing out first. So that has now become part of the spirit now. I'm not fully privy to everything going on in the Israelite community. I try to stay away from the BS and whatever else goes on online, but sometimes you just can't help but see it. But from my observation, I've seen less attacks within and more focusing on attacks without, right? Which is a good thing, because the Lord said that now that blowing of the trumpet is time for assembling. In the spirit of Zephaniah 2, verse 1, it says, gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired, before the decree bring forth, before the day passeth the chaff, before the fierce anger of Yahweh come upon you, before the day of Yahweh's anger come upon you. See, there's no question, because according to 2 Peter, the Most High said that judgment must begin at the house of the Lord. So if anybody's going to get it, the children of the Lord is going to get it first. You know how daddy do. He's concerned about his children. If we acting up, we get our butts whooped first. And then guess what? The neighbors' kids and anybody else who been acting up is going to get it. See, our house got to get in order first. So the Most High said, look, get it together before the decree brings forth. Not after, not while it's going on. You don't wait until all hell's breaking loose and everything's going to hell in the handbasket and then say, hey, we got to get it together. Hey, y'all, No, it said before the decree bring forth. So once we start seeing things that's arising, that means it's time to, we need to get our acts together. You understand? Because the fierce anger of Yahweh is coming down to visit the earth, and it said it's going to come upon us first. Verse 3, seek ye Yahweh, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of Yahweh's anger. And that's what we are praying for. To be hid when that sword comes down, that we are hid from that guillotine swing of the Father. Right? Now let's double back over here to Numbers 10. Again, verse 2, make thee 2 trumpets of silver, of a whole piece shalt thou make them, that thou mayest use them for the calling of the assembly and for the journeying of the camps. Verse 3, and when they shall blow with them, all the assembly shall assemble themselves to thee at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And if they blow but with one trumpet, then the princes, which are the heads of the thousands of Israel, shall gather themselves unto thee. When ye blow an alarm, then the camps that lie in the east part shall go forward. When ye blow an alarm the second time, then the camps that lie on the south side shall take their journey. They shall blow an alarm for their journey. So we have to be in tune. We have to be listening, watching, paying attention. This is why Yahweh told us in Mark the 13th chapter, watch, therefore, and pray, right? Because if you're too busy, distracted with the multiple distractions, I don't even have time to be going over the multiple distractions that get put in front of us on a daily basis. If we get caught up in those things, we're not listening for the trumpet. We're not listening and watching for the signs of the times. We're not paying attention to prophecy. We're too busy getting caught up, going along with the flow, swallowing blue pills and getting caught up in the matrix. While everything else is crashing and burning, going haywire around us, we're getting caught up. So imagine if we were within the camps, whether it's on the south side, on the east side, or whatever the case may be, and you missed your trumpet, you'd be liable to get put to death. You know, I always like to make the point, and we've done it for years on end. All the Passovers we kept, we always try to instill being on time, because wasn't Passover a timely feast? If you was not in the house when that death angel came through and observing that Passover, you was getting put to death. Imagine you was still out. Oh, I'm running late. Oh, we know things happen. And it's always that way in Passover. Never starts on time. I don't think I've been at a Passover that started on time when we say. And that's shameful to say. But the Lord is giving us exhortation, saying we have to be conscious of listening and paying attention to what's going on around us, because you might miss your calling. You might miss the sound that could save your life. So if we're not paying attention, we're not seeing everything that's going on the earth, you might miss out. We might miss out, right? Verse 7, but when the congregation is to be gathered together, ye shall blow, but ye shall not sound an alarm. So there was different vibrational sounds. There was different tones that our people was listening for, that knew whether it was to assemble and to be gathered together, but it wasn't an alarm for the camps to, make moves, right? Let's drop down. We're going to read verse 9. And if you go to war in your land against the enemy that oppresseth you, then ye shall blow an alarm with the trumpets, and ye shall be remembered before Yahweh your power, and ye shall be saved from your enemies. So we can see here that the trumpet is always used as an instrument to acknowledge war, right? So knowing that, less than 10 days, we're going to be observing our 7th month, new moon. The trumpet is being blown. You can see the spirit that's going on in the earth. Whether it's world war, civil war, race war, insurrections, seditions that's going on throughout the earth, it's here. You can see it, I can see it, you can smell it, you can taste it. 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 23 and verse 24. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. Yeah, there's a lot of brothers and sisters out here who's wondering what's going on. This is wild. The whole Charlie Kirk thing. He didn't broke the internet. Everybody talking Charlie Kirk. But no, wait, listen. He was definitely a presence on the internet. He was definitely a presence within the right-wing MAGA movement. He was Trump's right hand as far as recruitment for the youth. Arrogant, proud, mouthpiece of Esau, loving to debate, a so-called devout Christian, right, who talks about having Christian values. Meanwhile, the way he spoke and the way his vitriol for so-called black people, that didn't sound very Christian-like to me. We're going to see some of the things he said. Right. But you're hearing and you're seeing people are all in the uproar. People are all acting, whether they're afraid, whether they're questioning, whether they're wondering. That's what we're seeing going on, right? So the trumpet has been blown. Verse 24, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. So we're going to see neighboring countries going to war with each other. I mean, look, Ukraine and Russia are the same people. They just separated by landmass. Ukraine went and annexed themselves to create their own country at the fall of the Soviet Union, but they're the same people. When you see India and Pakistan going at it, they're the same damn people. You see what's going on in Nepal. They're all the same people. They're going at it. Insurrections, fighting against their government, burning down government buildings and everything else, right? When you see Charlie Kirk get taken out by one of his own, I mean, they may not have been friends, but guess what? The political lines get drawn. They're the same nation. We're seeing Satan cast out Satan. I mean, all of that is being apparent right now. So friends going to fight one another. You're going to see even camp splits and brothers that was friends and thought was diehard. All that is going to take place. We're going to see all of those things go down. And it's already been happening. It says, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. So we're going to see everything from droughts, famines, pestilence, earthquakes, you name it, all going to be taking place. Verse 25, whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world. See, that's why when the scriptures say Jacob is the end of the world and Esau is the beginning of it that followeth, because this is going to be the end of Esau's world. It's not going to be the end of the earth. The earth going to get blown up and destroyed. No. The earth was made for our sakes, according to 2 Ezra chapter 7. So there's not going to be a destruction of the earth. It's going to be a destruction of America, certain land masses within the earth that aren't going to be habitable anymore for people. However, the end of the reign of the so-called white man in his world will be coming to an end when we see those things playing out. So in the spirit, we're seeing the trumpet being blown. We're seeing these particular spirits rise up. You know, 2 Ezra, the 9th chapter tells us this too. You know, these things are all prophetic that we're seeing take place. You know, they're running around talking about how Charlie Kirk was martyred. For who? Don't say he was martyred for as being a Christian, because he was far from it according to the biblical standards that the scriptures pronounce. No, the scriptures, man, the Psalms tell us the Most High said, what did he even have to do to declare his statutes? Oh, the wholesome Christian, get out of here. Meanwhile, was spewing all kind of racist, divisive, white supremacist rhetoric, and that's supported, right? Come on. 2 Ezra 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass. They say, well, we got to see is part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before. Then thou shalt understand. So we're not waiting for everything. Everything doesn't have to take place. We only need to see parts of it going down. You know, when Christ talked about wars, rumors of wars, pestilence, false Christ arriving, all of those things, we're seeing parts of those things already play out. Remember, he said that the time got to be cut short for the elect's sake. So we may not even see the full spectrum of all manners of destruction. We're going to definitely see more than our share, more than enough. But it said, but once we see these parts of these signs pass, then we should understand and know that what? It is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world, which he may remember. Even Yahushua told us that all these are the beginning of sorrows. It's not the end, but the beginning of the end. The start of the ending. Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. All right. So we're seeing and understanding the times that's playing out in front of our faces, right? The start of the end, the end of their world, right? Psalm 47, we're going to read 2 down to 5. For the Most High Yahweh, for Yahweh, the Most High is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth. So, you know, you hear about the narrative that, you know, Agent Orange and the government is saying, hey, these cartels, they're terrorists. Oh, the towel heads over there in Afghanistan and Iran, and they're terrorists. No. The Most High, the terrible. He's the one that motivates shifts in the spirits of men to bring terror and pain upon nations, fear amongst men and women. He is a great king over all the earth. Verse 3, he shall subdue the people under us and the nations under our feet. He shall subdue the people under us. Now, if they're under us, that means we're above some people, right? So according to Isaiah, the 14th chapter, when it says that the people are going to grab hold of us and we're going to take them captives whose captives we were, the Most High is going to provide that to happen. They're going to be subdued and put under us. I'm sorry, Christians. I know y'all love everybody. You want everybody to walk hand in hand. You swearing up and down that Charlie Kirk is in a better place. He's in heaven now. No, he's not. That's sorry, that's not how this plays out. It's not how the Bible is written. Verse 3 again, it said, he shall subdue the people under us and the nations under our feet. Under. I mean, that's clear. But there will be a hierarchy. That, you know, some of these Christians now they're bowing down saying, yeah, we know there's going to be a hierarchy. Yeah, Israel, the people who don't serve the Christ, everybody's going to serve the church. No, it's not the church. It's the seed and the children of Israel, and it's always been that way. That's for a whole nother lesson. But but clearly we see here that somebody's going to be subdued, and nations. We ain't talking about whoever and all the wicked and anybody who does this. No, it said nations, nationalities of people are going to be put under our feet. Verse 4. He shall choose our inheritance for us, the excellency of Jacob, whom he loved. Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. Don't we read that all the time in Hebrews? The Most High is gone up with a shout. How is this with the sound of a trumpet? So everything that we're seeing taking place, man, the alarming, it's all from the Most High. He's blown the trumpet, right? Putting things in motion. So when we're seeing the phenomenons going on in the earth right now, we shouldn't be sitting back saying, what the heck's going on? Times are crazy out here. No kidding. But guess what? The Lord said it's going to be that way. He sounded the trumpet. What we need to do, we got to get ready. 2 Ezra 16 verse 2, it says, gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Beware your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. So, you know, it's time to repent, time to get our lives together, time to start buckling down. Because what? Destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Yeah, the Most Awesome, man, I done blown the trumpet. And I'm terrible about mine, and I'm getting ready to subdue nations, put them under your feet in the whole nine. Do you want that? Are you ready for it? Or would you rather sacrifice and say, no, I want it for everybody, Lord. That's not enough. I want to share it. No, some things we got to be actually selfish with. And thank and praise to the Most High that, yeah, hey, if I'm in that number, all praise. I'm not going to despise the salvation of the Lord. That's what he said it's got to go down. That's what it is. See, one thing, I'm going to always keep it real. My last name in Hebrew, Ahmath, means truth. I'm going to always stand for the truth, whatever it is. If the scripture said that Christ was a white man, white woolly hair, white long stringy hair, I would say that's what it is and defend it till my death. But it doesn't say that. So I can't go against that. Christ told us, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. I mean, this is what it is. So if the Most High said that this is how his salvation is, this is what it's going to be, and these are the things that's going to befall nations, people, and the world before it's all said and done, and I'm doing it for your sakes, hey, I got to ride with it and pray that I'm hid and protected in that day. Because he said, hey, look, a sword sent upon you. Who's going to turn it back? A fire sent among you. Who can quench it? Plagues are sent unto you. And what is he that may drive them away? There ain't a vote that you can do. There's not a petition. There's not a canceling of it on the internet. Nothing can stop what's going on right now. Nothing. 16. No peace treaties, none of that. I mean, remember, they were so excited about that, thinking, oh, the peace treaty. Trump and Putin, they're meeting together in Alaska. Nobody's ever got Putin to come over to American shore, and still ain't nothing happened. Why? Because the Lord said, political theater, you can trick some people with that, but not everybody. Verse 6. May any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire and stubble when it hath begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? That is wild. Beaten to powder. These are the type of scriptures, man, my Christian brothers and sisters, man, they run from, because they don't want to read that. They like, oh no. Because we've been raised to believe, hey, God is all love. He's all merciful. He doesn't care what you look like, what you wear, how you live, and he just loves you. No. That's not the truth. Most I say he will beat you to powder. Go against him. You understand? Verse 12, the earth quaketh and the foundation thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep. We just had tsunami warnings after them earthquakes came from the volcanoes over there in Alaska and Hawaii. They actually did have water that hit the shores. Where was that? I know it happened in Japan in Fukushima. What was that? 2010. But it was just recently. One of them Indonesian nations got hit with a little tsunami. But it says, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also, before Yahweh and before the glory of his power. So that's what we're dealing with. The power of the Lord, trumpet's been blown, sword's been sent out. So we're going to see even more things that can lead you to say, damn, that's crazy. We ain't seen a political assassination since JFK. I mean, to keep it real, Charlie Kirk he was a mouthpiece, an internet influencer. But that's how the internet can make you, in this age now, be looked at like he was like a real member of the government, a real political figure. He wasn't. He was an influencer, no question. He was a heavy internet presence. But I don't see the outcry, the deep investigations, the FBI on the payroll, trying to find out about what was that? 50 people shot in Chicago 2 weeks ago, 10 dead. I didn't see him with 10 people shot here in South Central a couple of weeks ago. 2 people dead. I didn't see what was it? For the last 2, there's people getting shot and getting put to death in LA. Like the last 3 weeks been mass shootings. They back and lighting up the streets again like it's damn near 89. And there's no public outcry. Why? Because the niggas dying. They don't care when Hispanics getting put to death. They don't care about black folks. But let poor little Christian conservative, MAGA hat, right wing wearing Charlie Kirk, man, all hell breaks loose. Everybody we need to get on it immediately. Everybody and mama's out there making, videos and talking about it and trying to go viral, and Trump's immediately running to the podium and giving his speeches. But you have multiple, gang of our people been getting put to death and shot and everything. But that's just par for the course. And Charlie Kirk will tell you the same thing. But he was alive. Hey, that's just black on black crime. So what? Matter of fact, he got smoked as he was talking about gun violence statistics. Person asked him about Transformers, mass shootings. And I think the guy asked him about, something about the mass shootings or whatever. He said, are we including gangs? As soon as you start trying to be reproachful about what's going on in our community, not trying to provide answers and solutions, but sitting back, utilizing it and weaponizing it to speak down on our community. You're supposed to be this big old Christian who's supposed to be merciful and favorable for the Lord's children and looking to make a change and being Christ-like. But, when it comes down to so-called blacks killing each other, you're using those statistics to talk about how bad black people are. I thought you're supposed to be teaching the gospel and teaching repentance and doing the work. Apparently not. Apparently not. So let's get to it, y'all. Without further ado, man, we got a lot to talk about, man. I hope y'all took a nap or something. You know, if you didn't, don't be falling asleep listening to me. Just turn it off, man. Turn me off right now. If you hear my voice and you in and out fighting the Sandman right now, saying, is he talking to me? Yes, I'm talking to you. Don't be dozing off right now. Now is not the time to sleep. You understand what I'm saying? And now, if you sleepy, man, turn it off. Watch it when you're awake tomorrow. All right. Other than that, man, let's get to it. So, same time. What's going on here? See, hold on, y'all. This display is not correct, and I don't even know what happened. All right, here we go. Good Lord, man. Spirits galore moving. All right, let's start off number one, as usual. We got to see what's happening with this war. Trump has been blown. Wars are being initiated. Israel, the GMO small hats over there, the imposters, they going all out. They've already done the damn near the completion of the devastation and they're overtaking in Gaza. Now they've turned their strikes towards Qatar, another country that they're saying is hiding Hamas leaders. No proof, no done. I mean, they bombing away. And even Agent Orange said he was upset about them doing this. But, what does that mean? He's not going to do nothing about it. It's ironic, too, man, that we'll talk about it when we get to Mr. Kirk. Right. But look here, man. Qatar threatens to retaliate against Israel for the Doha strike on Hamas. Prime Minister calls the situation a decisive moment for Middle East following explosion in Doha. So because of the Captain Kirk phenomenon is going on, the threats of what happened with World War III kind of got swept under the rug. How that happened is beyond me. I mean, when you're talking about Israel striking another country, so they've already struck in Gaza, they've struck in Iran, they've struck in Qatar now, 3 particular target sites that they've gone on a rampage with, right? The Muslim world is up in arms. That could also lead to a existential war jumping off, right? But because the white man got assassinated on the campus of Utah Valley State, that's got to get put on hold. See, this is what I'm saying. The distractions will tell us that ain't nothing else going on but what we seen happen 2 days ago. No. Bigger things have escalated. Qatar threatens to retaliate against Israel in the wake of an airstrike in Doha that targeted the leaders of Hamas as the country's prime minister called the situation a decisive moment for the Middle East. Decisive moment, right? Because they're going to have to decide, are we just going to go all out and attack Israel and we're going to join up together? And if that's the case, all hell is going to break loose in the so-called Middle East. America's going to have to jump in. Meanwhile, while they're looking the other way, trying to, get busy over there in the Middle East, Russia's going to completely annihilate Ukraine. And that's why they kicked off what went down with Poland, because it's already a provocation for World War III. We're gonna talk about it. Let's continue on. So we see Israel, Qatar going at it, right? Poland downs Russian drones for the first time. NATO member has fired in the Ukraine war. This is huge because guess what? Matter of fact, where we at? Poland. Let's look at that. We got. Let me take this out because It's hot. Let me unplug it. Maybe that's it. But I wasn't meant, so I want to go into it with you. Article 4. Now we know Article 5 means that if any NATO nation comes under attack or is threatened, all NATO nations have to come to their rescue. They have to come in, join in, pack out whoever's causing the threat or whoever made the provocation of war. If any one of them comes under any acts of war, they all got to join in, and it's a problem for whoever violated. So now it says Poland invoked Article 4 of the North Atlantic Treaty on Wednesday after fighter jets shot down multiple Russian drones that illegally entered Polish airspace. Russia, which has been at war with Ukraine along Poland's southeastern border, has said it didn't mean to send drones into the airspace, but the move has prompted outcry from NATO allies. So this time, Russia's taking the blame for it. They saw it was an accident. Now, take that for what it's worth, man. We know white man speak for a tongue. He relies on his own self. Right. But if you remember a couple of years ago, Poland had got a couple of missiles went through there, and they immediately blamed the Russians, and it wasn't the Russians, it was Ukraine that did it, trying to provoke something. They said it was an accident, right? So Poland is right in the midst of the action, and the so-called action is jumping off all the time. It says what's clear is that the violation last night is not an isolated incident. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte told reporters Wednesday whether it was intentional or not, it is absolutely reckless. It is absolutely dangerous. Yeah, because NATO wants this war to really get large. They was against the peace talks between Russia and America. They wasn't trying to have that. Remember, they all came to the table and they had to accompany Zelensky with them. They wasn't going to let him go in there and speak on his own. After they leave there, all of a sudden, now we see all hell breaks loose. Now all of a sudden, NATO's getting involved. I'm prone to believe, man, they probably self-sabotage and did it themselves, or somebody told the Russians, man, go ahead and launch something, gave them wrong coordinates. I don't know, but it's just ironic that after they leave the White House with Zelensky, no peace deal made. Now all of a sudden, the NATO country gets hit, and they saying, "Hey, this is dangerous. This is reckless. We might need to retaliate." So now they're saying we need to open up Article 4. What's that? Article 4 allows member countries to bring their security concerns to the alliance for discussion. Oh, so they want to talk about what are we going to do? Where do we want to take this? We got the green light now. Now we've got an excuse to escalate. So now they want to talk. It states the parties will consult together whenever, in the opinion of any of them, the territorial integrity, political independence, or security of any of the parties is threatened. Invoking Article 4 can lead to a joint decision or action, but it doesn't automatically prompt a response from member countries. After it is invoked, the issue is discussed, and NATO countries decide how to move forward as a group. So they having a hidden council. Dark council. Let me get that real quick. Because they in that line. They trying to figure out how they're going to, establish getting off this war. Where's that in Psalms? I'm trying to remember that scripture in Psalms, but maybe I'm off on that one. I ain't got time to find it. But anyway, they're having crafty dark counsel as usual, right? And now they're getting ready to have this discussion on whether or not they're gonna go to war or not. I thought that was it. Job 38, was that the one? Well, no, but here's a good one too. Proverbs 28:18. It says, every purpose is established by counsel and with good advice make war. So that's essentially what this Article 5 discussion is going on right now. After that bombing, now they're sitting back having counsel deciding on whether or not they're going to go to war. So it's bigger than Charlie Kirk. It's bigger than, who's playing tomorrow in college football. No, this is really what's going down. This is of the utmost importance because now they're sitting back deliberating on going to war, right? With Russia, which means America's got to get involved because they're part of NATO. As much as they got their hands full, doesn't matter. You sign the agreements, you're in league with them, you got to join in. Let's continue. Polish Prime Minister, Europe is closer to war than any time since World War II after airspace violations. So that's the word on the streets in Europe. That's the word on the streets within the political spheres and geopolitical warfare discussions. After the second woe comes the third woe, according to Revelation. Europe is closer to war than any time since World War II. So we can forget about the Cold War back in the 50s and the 60s. We can forget about what went on in the 80s. You can forget about all that is out the window. No other time has there been more, have we been more closer to World War III than right now. That's why we talked about the trumpet has been blown. Poland says Russian drone incursions could not have been a mistake, contradicting Trump. Trump tried to come to the conclusion and say, "Hey, they said it wasn't on purpose. Like, give me a minute. We're not trying to go to war right now. Fall back." Poland is like, man, the hell with what you're talking about. See, this is why when we read about what is going to cause, we see in Revelation 17, what's going to cause. Which one I want? I want verse 16. Revelation 17:16. What's going to cause these 10 horns? And 10 horns are indicative of the EU, the European Union, and also which translates into NATO as well. There's a conglomerate of nations, but the EU and the European Economic Community and all that started off with 10 nations, and it's expanded throughout the years with more, right? But we talked about that a number of different times regarding the 10 horns. But this essentially is the EU. It says, "Which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore." The whore is America, right? America is controlling the beast system. America is riding on the waves of the last beast, which is Rome. It's the offshoot of Rome, spawned from Great Britain. When Great Britain fell out of power after World War II, America took over and was declared a superpower in the world after that. It was between them and Russia, and that's why Russia, was having problems with America. They had the Cold War situation, all that, and America surpassed it because America ended up having the financial capabilities to move forward. Plus, they had the Hiroshima Nagasaki bomb dropping off. Then nobody wanted no smoke with America. America had the money to go to war, and they was willing to do what it took to blow up whole nations and slaughter millions if need be. Russia fell back and said, "You got it. You got it." But we're gonna be on your ass though. We're not going nowhere. But we're there. But what's going to cause the EU? Because remember, the whore is employed all these particular nations. The whore is the one giving the nations all the pleasantries and the delicacies, the drink and the wrath of the fornication and everything else. They're all in bed with her. But something is gonna make these 10 horns say, "Man, we're sick of this all. We're not messing with her no more. Matter of fact, we're gonna destroy her. Are y'all with us?" And they are gonna come into agreement. See, verse 16 says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire." So they're going to come against America. And when we see particular articles like this, when America and Trump is trying to say, hey, the Russian attack, it wasn't deliberate. It could have been a mistake. And Poland saying, man, are you crazy? Are you with us or are you against us? Like, hey, this is the time we need to go to war. We're supposed to be getting it in with them. And what are you talking about? See, already there's a little discord and dissension going on. But Poland is nothing in compared to America. So they can't go up against America by themselves. So that's why they got to have an Article 4 discussion and get all of them together and say, hey, you know what? This might be the time. Strike while the iron's hot. Why not? America's got their hands full with China and Taiwan, got their hands full with Russia and Ukraine, got their hands full with Charlie Kirk and whatever else they're going through, civil war and uprisings here and immigration problems and cartel wars with the Caribbean, so-called cartel wars with the Caribbean. Meanwhile, you know, they ain't doing nothing but colonizing and trying to take over Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Haiti, and everywhere else. You know, they got their hands full, man. This damn Hydra with all these damn snake heads all over the damn place. Octopus tentacles, man, suction cup in every damn country. They got their hands full. That's why Trump's like, hey, it could have been a mistake, you guys. Calm down. Poland saying, hell no. Poland flatly rejected on Friday a suggestion by U.S. President Donald Trump that drone incursions into its airspace could have been a mistake, describing them as a deliberate Russian attack. So they're not going with that narrative. See? That's why Mark 3 told us, man, if Satan cast out Satan, man, this whole kingdom's going to fall. They're biting each other with their own poison fangs. They're going to fall eventually. Poland, backed by aircraft from its NATO allies, shot down drones that had violated its airspace on Wednesday, the first time a member of the Western military alliance is known to have fired during Russia's war in Ukraine. All right. Now look, Zelensky coming out right away. He's urging a joint air defense with Europe after Russian drones downed in Poland. He's jumping right in. See, I told you. You guys need to come together and make a joint air defense with Europe and include us. This is why we keep saying we need to be a part of NATO and we want more money and we need more bombs. See, he couldn't wait to jump into this. Yes, we need more money. We need more weapons. He wants in. See that? Pushing for more war. So there's war on the home front here. We know what's going on. With ICE, immigration, military being expanded on the streets here, Chicago, LA, DC, New York is being rumored. I mean, look, there's already the scent of war, or just the visual is being sent. I seen a video the other day. Jake's in Chicago. I mean, you know, I don't know if they're doing it for the internet or whatever, but either that or they on dope, man. Whatever they smoking over there in Chicago must be potent. Because these little YNs is out there talking about, we in Chicago ain't DC, nigga. We got switches. Switches. The so-called white man has sound wave weapons that will have you running for the hills, and he ain't got to pull near trigger. He's got X-ray, night vision scopes and all kind of damn things. He can shoot you from 300-400 miles away, and you talking about some damn switches. He's not afraid to drop a bomb on a whole community. Ask who was it? The AIM group out there in Philly in the 80s. Remember that? I mean, niggas better get it together. Talking about we got switches. Chicago don't play that. You don't knock it off. They got to be doing it for the internet, man. It was Move. All right, throw out Oscar Rob. They gotta be doing it for TikTok, man. I mean, niggas out there talking crazy. You do not have enough switches, training, or anything. I mean, that's what I'm saying. 50 people getting shot over a weekend, only 10 died. I mean, your aim and everything is terrible. It's off. Dare you to go up against some tactically trained Army, National Guards with endless clips and ammo. Come on, man. Why am I even talking about this? This is a joke. Anyway, I seen the video, man. They had military helicopters over damn Chicago. Jake was talking on. He was going live talking about, yeah, man, we are in Chicago, and a damn jet flew over his head, and he was like, "Oh shit, they outside!" Oh, all that switch talk switched up real fast. Did y'all see that? He went out there talking about, yeah, we out here outside, da, 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 da. And you hear, when he was like, "Oh shoot!" Now we're seeing racial profiling, and I talked about this about 3 months ago or more. Ketanji Brown and Judge Sotomayor, they was both talking about how the Constitution, everything is going to be changing. The attacks on the methods that they're giving ICE to even incorporate racial profiling now is going to stamp on all constitutional rights now. They said if you look Hispanic, you speak a lick of broken English, man. That's viable for them to have questioning and detain you. And now that they've expanded it into criminal behavior, it's not just immigration. Remember, ICE and all them, the National Guard, they on the streets now for criminal activity as well. It's not just how you hear legally. So yeah, we're going back to the time when if the days of crash and the battle ram and racial profiling and pulling up on you, driving while black, and all that stuff now is being floated around on the table. All of that. The Supreme Court decision on ICE and the racial profiling explained the ruling allowed immigration agents to stop people for reasons that lower courts had deemed likely unconstitutional. So I know there's some people that, man, we got a constitutional right, man. That's so I would protect this bullshit. Bull riding the Constitution. They're circumventing it. This is why when we talked about the Gestapo, when we start talking about the secret police, they were being used as methods to circumvent. They're being used as ways to circumvent the damn Constitution. The National Guard can't do, right? The Supreme Court on Monday overturned a federal judge's order that had prohibited federal agents in Los Angeles One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two. If you can hear me, hey, throw a 7 in that chat for your good brother. Would you do that for me, man? One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two. I can hear myself. All right, see, all of y'all are on point. Hey, you already know. Unbelievable. You're right. Somebody don't like what I'm saying. Something going on, man. The spirit is definitely trying to intercede, man. Been trying to mess with my computer and mess with my damn internet for the last few weeks. I ain't never really had these issues. There it go again. Well, Woo.